Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. Oh, I didn't realize it dropped out of the 1900s. Very exciting. I turned up the game volume, and it's been a while since I changed the game, any of my volume settings. I think it sounds fine. I was thinking of recording some other stuff for the channel, and I fiddled with the volume for that. I decided not to actually record any of it, but I don't know. I've noticed that like the music is like pretty quiet in my last videos, and there are some people who appreciate that and wish I wouldn't play the game music at all. But you know, like no music is like kind of lonely, I guess. And in principle, you could play your own music over it, but while you're watching. But in practice, people don't do that. It seems to me, and I just don't want to have any like custom music over the game music as people tend to do on Twitch. Like copyright stuff is just so confusing, and I like the royalty-free, copyright-free stuff on YouTube. The selection is just not that good, so I don't really want to mess with that. So in-game music it is, and it does kind of get old, but the Prismata music is really great, I think. What is going on in this game? Red Dream has first Zamora, but seems to be in a little bit of trouble in terms of like Econ and Soak. Like, these cauterizers are serious value. The Urbans, you're a lot less happy to lose. Both players floating a lot of green. Maybe more than I would recommend. But these two are both better players than I am, so... A well-timed Matrix when an opponent finally has enough attack that they can't just spend it on wild drones anymore. I guess the Urbans were also... Wait. Was it right to let a cauterizer get turned off? Did we have to lose an Urban to keep it alive or something? I wasn't paying attention. We attacked for 6, right? And had 10, so I guess the extra damage doesn't matter because we wanted an even number, and we can turn the cauterizer back on, but you can't resurrect an Urban. I don't know. So I predict that if Wonderboat can live through the first couple Zamora clicks, then Wonderboat will win this game. Just like based on the larger economy and better proactive Soak. Can Wonderboat survive? I think so. But, you know, open question, I guess. This is an interesting compromise. I feel like you really, really want a Matrix, which is why he's considering taking back this cauterizer. Yeah. Tarsiers, I understand why you might want them to be Frostbites. I don't have a strong opinion. It feels like Tarsiers are a bit slow. But also, the enemy is not at all breach vulnerable, really. So Frostbites are just like, they're not that scary against a guy with a bunch of Urbans, right? So there's really not a lot of good stuff to spend your red on. You might go Tarsier Rhino, like, you're gonna want Soak soon, right? To keep the cauterizers firing as much as possible. So I don't know, I might try Matrix Tarsier Rhino. Okay. What's this all about? This is keeping alive more attackers? Yeah, it keeps both Urbans alive and one cot firing. Okay, that is kind of nice. Still think a Rhino might be better here, but I haven't calculated what you're doing next turn. Yeah, so a bunch of urbans are gonna getting mown down in the prime of their lives here, right? 4, 8. Yeah, you're losing 2 urbans, I think. Okay, we have Synth C in a base +5 60-second game. Mostly attack here. I don't think there's any reason to get Fuge. Blood Pact is, in a way, a disincentive against Phage, simply because like you tend not to be clicking Phage when you have access to Blood Pact. But I think you're still getting a Phage at some point, right? The question is, like, can you get arms races, or is the set just kind of pretty fast? Right, if you wanted arms races, you'd start like DD, DDC, DA, probably. Even then, I don't know. I think I just want to get attack right away. I don't think I want to, like, build up my tech so slowly that it's convenient to get an early arms race. It would just be waiting too long. I'd rather just get started on the red stuff and throw in some green when I can. Obviously you want blue, but... well... yeah. I think I want, like, green, then red, then blue, just because it's gonna be a while before I'm getting attacked, and it's sort of convenient to pick up green on the way. But if you get the red earlier, you can sell it back with Phage sooner, so that, like, you actually have enough econ to spend green, red, blue. Right? Because if you go DEC, DA, then you're, like, you have a lot of money tied up in attackers, and you can't conveniently get a forge and then a wall, right? So I feel like this might actually be... it's a better approach. Just to get a Phage on the table sooner, so that you're able to make use of the red without having to, like, build $8 worth of stuff with it. That sort of unlocks blue sooner. Really? You want to start with double arms race via Fuge, huh? That's interesting. Against this, I don't think I need to grab a Phage right away. Right, Phage, I don't know. I've talked before about how Phage is kind of like buying Tarsier Drone, but you get to borrow $1. And you get the click ability, of course. Here, I don't need to borrow the $1. And so I could TTD instead and get a Phage later. And unless I need the click ability 2 turns from now, that's a better thing to do because it leaves more Phages in supply. But I don't think Phage supply is going to be very relevant here, and the click 2 turns from now might be relevant, so I'm going to go this way. If you get a Rhino here instead of a Tarsier, it actually does damage. I don't think it's very good, but it is an interesting thought. Because our opponent's not buying a fort. Really? You want to have 3 blue? Okay. So, but here, though, like, I don't want 2 Phage. I don't really need 2 Phages, so I might as well TTD, I think. Or, if I wanted to upgrade a Tarsier to a Rhino here, I could do that by getting a Phage, right? Like this. Now I'm attacking for 3, and I'll have a Rhino like, body a little bit sooner. And getting rid of this NG kind of causes opponents some granularity problems soon, I feel like. I don't know, I'm gonna try this. pretty worried about this double arms race, though. Wait, what? Animus? You know you have a feud coming, right? What could this be? What could you want 4 red for? Like, you want an Animus later, maybe. But now? Double Phage... Sorry, double arms race, Phage... Pact? You don't have that much money. So attacking for 4 is kind of cool next turn because opponent has exactly 4 defense and they're gonna like not want to build a wall to deal with it. They're gonna want to build like something else. Double arms race wall? I don't know. This is very bizarre to me. I think they need a pact. Ooh, Rhino? I'll see you later, Rhino. So, like, I don't know. I think this Rhino I got actually did a pretty good job, all things considered. He dealt 2 damage and then killed an enemy Rhino that was at 2 stamina. And I think that that's a better job than a Tarsier would do most of the time. On the other hand, the Rhino health did not matter very much, so we'll see. And attacking for 4 continues to be a nuisance for opponent, right? So like that's kind of one reason I thought that grabbing this Rhino would be nice. Like, how are we on attackers? I have 4 and a bit coming in. Opponent has 6 and a bit coming in. Economically, I'm losing. Well, it's pretty close. But I have this defensive tempo. You know what? Actually, you should be a Rhino. I'm gonna need defense very soon. Or this? Force fields are good? I have pacts. Who needs force fields, right? Let's just get one more drone. I'm surprised that opponent's choosing to float red here. Like, I know you can't click the Phage yet, but I guess those engineers are kind of important, maybe. Do I really dare to buy another Tarsier here? I don't think so. Well, let's make this guy a Rhino and get Engies. Good. Yeah, this Rhino is really putting opponent on the back foot. Like, buying these Rhinos for soak is very, very sad for my opponent. They should be blood pacts, obviously. That would be a big improvement. I'm buying one. And let's just continue jamming those Rhinos in. Hang on. Opponent is losing at least 1, probably 2 attack. So if I buy the Rhino, it would have to soak, so I don't want to do that. And then after that, buying another Rhino seems good, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, or 10. I don't know. 10 is bigger than 9, and that seems good. Okay, opponent has unlocked Blood Pacts. So I guess all those early decisions about whether to buy Phage or not ended up not really mattering. But it was still a decision. I don't know, might have mattered somehow. Wow, these rhinos continuing to just bleed. Alright, so this wall actually defends. And I think I will go bold with a double rhino here. Man, these rhinos are just, I don't understand why opponent's doing this. It's so sad. Okay, well, we got the win there. Well, I feel like there might be something behind the idea of trying to get Fuge into double packed as your first attacker, but I don't think there's enough there. Right, it has the problem that I'm buying attackers like pretty early, so you end up having to get a forge, and then you have 3 blue, and like, what do you do with 3 blue on an economy of this size, right? Well, certainly not Animus. Notice, by the way, opponent like floated a red and a blue on the centrifuge turn, right? Didn't float 2 red, so buying this Animus did something. But obviously this Rhino should have been a Blood Pact, at least. And then you're like $1 short of buying a Tarsier with the 4th red. 2 packs, obviously not so great. But I think it would have been better to just cut the Animus, get it later, and then on this turn, you know, get some drones instead or something. Yeah, this first Rhino, I'm still not sure about him. I feel like that was my weirdest decision of the game. Maybe not my best, maybe not my worst, but definitely one that I don't think a lot of players would make. And I got rewarded for it more than I should have, right? With opponent, this extra Rhino damage should have been killing Blood Pact Husks, but instead it was killing full stamina Rhinos. And so it really got a lot more value than I deserved. Maybe it still would have been good against Husks, but against Rhinos it was like a golden gift, I think. It really did a lot. And I wasn't so sad to have the body, after all. It meant I could keep building Tarsiers longer, right? Actually, I didn't build any this turn. It's a little questionable, but I was able to build splitters for longer, at least. And it also sort of bought me time for these last 2 Rhinos to develop. Well, I say last 2, but it let me get the next Rhino train going much more comfortably. And then if I had been down a bunch of health from having gotten a Tarsier instead of a Rhino and not having killed some of opponent's Rhinos, I'd have a lot less health. So I think the other like big decision of the game was turn 2, right? DA instead of DDC. The other line I was thinking about was more like this, right? And let's suppose that opponent does the same thing. I don't know if they would have, but... I don't know. What do you even get here? Animus? Conduit? Animus seems like a bit much, but... Actually, it's kind of nice to buy like 2 slow attackers leading into the arms race turn so that the 4 attack you buy isn't wasted against a wall or something. So maybe something like this. You're gonna have a little too much red on your Fuge turn, but you might have some reason to spend that on a pact or something. I don't know. You see, like, here's my problem, is it's hard to get a Forge and actually still get a Phage this way. I guess I don't need the Forge yet. Maybe something like this? Now, opponent has a lot to spend next turn. And they kind of want a wall as well, huh? So maybe that's what was wrong with this Animus, is that opponent needs to have bought a wall to defend against my stuff before the big turn. So let's go back and give them that. Actually, didn't I do this instead? I don't remember. I guess I did, but I don't remember why. Unless the opponent grabs a splitter here, because, like, you might as well. And now, on this turn, you're going to have... What are you going to want to spend, right? You want to spend 16 and 5 is like 21. You kind of want to get another Animus that turn is the problem. And... Well, let's just not get the Animus then, right? We can buy a double arms race and a splitter. Better than nothing, right? Now, like... I don't know. It might be worth gambiting here because... No, then opponent would just build a wall. They would... they're definitely going to click the splitter if I don't defend. It's not that big a deal for them to click it. So I might as well choose to defend. And I finally get this Forge. Just in time. But opponent goes like this, and that's kind of a lot of attack, isn't it? And all of my green has not really done anything. Well, let's make it do something, right? Now that I have a Phage, I can sell my red back. Honestly, this should be a Rhino. I just, like, I'm gonna need a lot of defensive tempo very soon. But opponent doesn't really have enough tech for all the stuff they want to do. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this. And it's definitely not arms race time. Opponent's under a lot of pressure to defend, and I don't want to make that easier for them. And let's just keep throwing in more attackers, I guess. Opponent probably wants a Phage and a Rhino. And I don't know, how is this turning out? My green is like, I got it so early, and I don't know that I'm really going to be able to make use of all of it, you know? I think the opponent wouldn't mind a second Phage here, honestly. They might want no red. No, they're gonna be perfectly happy to get packs, so let's get just Tarsier NGs instead. And I don't know how well this is looking for either one of us, really. Opponent kind of needs 2 packs here, which is good news for me. But I'm about to be under a lot of pressure too, so I shouldn't I don't know. Don't be ridiculous. Are you kidding me? Drone? Conduit, maybe, but not... Yeah, Conduit's probably good, in fact. Nope, not Phage. Pact. Click. I can't buy any more of these, but I want to spend my green. Is a Gauss Cannon really better than a Rhino? I guess. Maybe. Yeah, I have the Grimbotch coming back. So I don't know. I feel like this is how the game should go if you want to try getting 2 arms races. But it's also me kind of like getting a lot of green I don't really need. And I think that my non-green line was a bit better. This is so greedy. But I guess soon I can take out some tech with all this stuff. I don't know. I'm just sort of like screwing around at this point. I'm just analyzing a game that didn't happen, which I guess happens a lot on this channel, but I don't know if it's really the best way to analyze things. Boy, this sure is scary, isn't it? And yet, like, blood packs just let you do anything. Hang on. Get out of here. I don't like walls. Honestly, I don't like blood packs either, but we can get that later, I think. And now I kind of have to float the green. I don't know, is there some way not to? I could get a force field instead and Rhino NG? Yeah, that is better. No red. No blue, I mean. Yikes. Take out the Animus as well. No more pacts for you. Yeah, I think that these kinetic drivers are gonna be lights out, right? Like, oof. You have to hold like this maybe, and you just, I don't know, need to start buying tech back or something. I feel like this is just a bit too much from me to deal with. On no tech. Whereas I'm not really under any pressure. Yeah, I think I'm still winning here. And I eventually turned most of my green into something, but it's pretty hard to use it all. I'm still floating 3 and will be for a long time, I think. And so, like, delaying the attack to get out the green just doesn't seem that worthwhile. I prefer the DA approach. And there might have been a time in here somewhere to add on some green. But I never really felt like I needed force fields, and that would be the main reason to get green. Kinetic drivers are fine, but force fields are what you might need more of this game, I think. And I just never really needed them. Okay, cool. Well, interesting game. And we're done with the ticket. Amazing. That's all for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.